Hey, what's up everyone? Bucky here with episode 1 of Dark and Darker for Timmies, a video series I am starting for new players in Dark and Darker to learn the basics of builds, strategies, and just basic information it has taken me years to accumulate. If you need any reason to listen to me, I have close to 7,000 hours, and back when I was a young yippersnapper, in Season 4, I hit number 4 Cleric and number 62 in the world before they reworked the Demigod grind. Every season since then, I've played consistently and hit Demigod within the first week of each season. In this video, I will be going through several classes and explaining how to build them and play them on a basic level. The end of this video is a little rough because they changed the gear bracket before I could finish. However, you can take this knowledge into base kit or green gear as well as purple and above. With that being said, let's get into it. I also want to mention that druid is not on here because I do not play druid ever since they reworked it. I have no interest in it and I have no idea. I will link a video in the description of how to build druid though. Alright, hope you guys enjoy. So first we're going to go over wizard, and this will be the only class we'll go into like a deep dive of how we want to build their gear. Every class is very similar in what you want, and main thing is first base raw stats: vigor, strength, will, knowledge. It just depends on what class you are playing. Different raw stats affect you in great deals. On wizard, you want at least 15 strength. 16 is what you'd like to go for because then you have a positive physical damage bonus. If you can only get 15, that is also okay. After that, you want to have add mad on your hat, rings, necklace, and cape. It does an immense amount of damage. It does more than magical damage scaling. It does more than anything else for all magic classes. Same thing with most physical damage classes. Also, the reason why I'm going with rugged boots here instead of buckled boots is because my vigor is so low that giving me 1 vigor gives me 1.5 HP. Now that we got a good look at that, let's get into some gameplay. So right away, whenever you're playing wizard like this in this bonk whiz form, which I do think is the best in lower gear brackets, is to always make sure that you have instacast up. If you always have instacast up, then it helps with getting surprised by classes, and if a rogue jumps you and you instantly fireball them and then hit them with the staff, with staff mastery, you will usually kill them. Now right here, I see this guy. Right away, with my instacast up, we just want to get a hit off on him and then stay ignited. Since it's a fighter, we hard counter them. Learn what classes you hard counter, and you'll know how confident you can play. Find another guy here, same thing. Instacast, 1 hit, 2 hit, ignite, dead. And right here, we just overwhelm this cleric with spells. This is where wizard really excels. And the cleric activates smite. Don't engage with the cleric who's smited ever with any class. They will win. It does so much damage in melee.
There's that word, then there's the other 2 others.
You can make these fights super simple if you can find a tactic to repeat every time. Most classes have a easy tactic. You can just rinse and repeat with every engagement. You have counters that you will lose to, and those rinse and repeat cycles will become harder to do, or you'll have to do them more and able to win a fight. But that's how it's supposed to be because they counter you. It is not supposed to be easy to kill a barbarian on this wizard class. And then I also just wanted to show that this bard was geared as well. Like he just had no chance to fight back at all.
Hopefully we're not forcing Chucky.
And then we're going to run into a Sork here.
I don't want to first Chuck. He's the only killer in 3rd person, just so you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he gets an advantage for 3rd person because how small he is. It's easy in 1st person, I guess. I'll be good boy in this game. It's hilarious.
And just
He's
like
not
the
a good
cleric
boy,
from
he's a
earlier,
killer.
we just overwhelm them with spells. We are hard counter to Sork, so it's not really that hard of a fight.
The fuck? You got a little baby inside of your system? How the fuck are you alive?
Alright, and now we're moving on to Rogue. I did forget to record the gear pieces I had on, but it's actually extremely easy, probably the easiest class to build for. It is just all vigor with strength and dex rolls. I did go for max health on a light Akaton, and then a buckled boots as well. And then you can choose between vigor and dexterity probably on those, and then armor pen on the rings and cape and pendant, and that's all you need to focus on. Rogue is extremely easy to build. Now that fight wasn't too special.
Look how simple that was. 3 of us survived. Come on, man.
We're gonna let this guy heal up after he fights. We're gonna take him on. Also, I forgot crossbow bolts. And this rogue had some. Don't forget bolts. So, first off, you want to get your rupture off early. Save your cutthroat for when they activate abilities. Bam, he now has slower action speed. All headshots. And then that just so much burst damage. After your first engagement with Rogue, you want to back off and try to do throwing knives or whatever you can, especially against Barbarians. Barbarians will beat you if you don't do enough tick damage before you engage. Lots of weapons have sour spots. This is a good example of how after you get some tick damage off against certain weapons, you can really just get in their face and they won't be dealing as much damage as they should be to you. Every class you want to stay at about a medium distance where you can go into melee or kite with throwing knives at any point you want. Right here I'm getting stuck on the ladder. That's why my swings keep messing up, so be careful about that. A good example of how long Rupture can last for. Does a lot of damage. And now we have Fighter. And now, in my opinion, this is the best solo class you can run in the entire game. We have 44% PDR, 21% MDR. We're putting will, lots of will-based pieces, and then building strength and dexterity, vigor, again, like usual, for magic resistance. We have weapon mastery, so we can use the bow and the crystal sword. The crystal sword does a lot of damage, and then you do add physical damage because it will scale with your crystal sword and your survival bow. You do not want to do add mag on a crystal sword build. You will not be doing a lot of damage with your survival bow. Add fizz, just make sure you're doing damage with both weapons. And now right here, I have second wind and I get balked. I missed the block. And now I save my second wind until the balk is almost done. Blow corruption. You can't pop it too early, right here. Now I only lose 2 seconds of second wind, and I get most of it. Try to go for the campfire, hear someone else coming. It's not worth it, because I get so much of that HP back. And this build does so much damage that if you're not full, you don't have to be scared about engaging. Now you just have to be worried about the parries with these longswords. Put your space to use that poke ability. The crystal sword is always just doing so much damage. Now this guy, you gotta hit your shots try to aim where they're going to walk into. When he's on the right there, I aim in the middle because I know he's gonna have to go there at some point. Now for a ranger, it's pretty much the same as a rogue, except you want or need a little less vigor and more armor pen. There's nothing really too much you change though. You're looking for strength, dex, vigor, and then I do will as a roll. You could also do armor pen. It just helps a little bit with the magical damage on this build. Also do an explosive slot and multi-shot, and you'll see why. This is probably the most fun build you can run in normal. Biggest tip with Ranger, do not engage with melee until you know they are low. You can kite forever. Also, anytime they put their melee weapon away is another good time to get free damage in with the spear. Get this druid and rat for him. Explosion kills him easy. Barbarian. I wanted to let him heal so I could get a fair fight, but I don't think he really knew what was going on. The parry on the spear is also amazing. Another great trick I actually learned fighting Yami is if you have a melee class on you and you're trying to get away, crouch and spin in a circle. It is one of the best moves you can do. Against other rangers, you can get up in their face with this build. And that was honestly just a sick ranger fight. Always go for high ground whenever you have the opportunity. You'll see it again here. Free headshots are always great, and if they're hitting you in the foot, you're gonna win most times. And now we got Bard here. You can change out the chest piece with Bard pretty commonly, but I suggest using the other pieces. We have a little bit of knowledge so that we can make sure to get all the buffs we need. And besides that, a bunch of armor pen, strength, vigor, dexterity. You want to try to get a shriek off whenever possible. If you get a shriek off on an enemy, you do immensely more damage. Blocking with the buckler is huge. The buckler has some of the highest impact resistance in the game. Or it has the highest impact resistance in the game. Miss a couple blocks. He's probably one as well. I said I'd rather heal and reset. Have another barbarian come in here. again, I have no arrows as well. You want to kite a lot with Bard. Since I don't have my arrows, I just do what I can. I don't even get the shriek off on him. This is just a good example of how good spacing, getting high ground, and outplaying your opponent can lead to a win even if you have a disadvantage. I wanted him to grapple into me, so I went in swinging. Don't overswing so you don't parry. Drum deals so much damage. Great to have. Alright, next we have Barbarian. Just like Rogue, Bard, and Ranger, you want to focus on Strength, Dex, Vigor. Same thing with the base pieces. The ones that have Strength, Dex, Vigors is where you want to start. Now this fight, this is the only good clip I can get on Barbarian. I haven't played in a long time. I got very unlucky. But just some general tips. Whenever you're playing Barbarian, you want to try not to get kited. That was just a straight up fight against also a hard counter PDR fighter. Whenever you're fighting casting classes, do not chase them. You do not have to get kited. Just stay at a doorway, heal, wait for them to chase you until you have the right opportunity to strike. Now here we have Sorcerer. I didn't have it to level 15 yet, so I didn't have all of the perks. But I do think these are the only ones you really need. Again, you're building all the same stuff as on Wizard, except you want to get some resourcefulness in there as well. Like Rawhide Glove, Ceremonial Hat, and whenever you're clearing mobs, you just want to spam spells. If you have 25 to 30 resourcefulness, your spells will be coming back so quickly. And here's a good example of just how dominant Sorcerer can be. Firewall does a lot of damage. Make sure you abuse it. It's free damage. And then this is the only other fight I have on Sorc. I think it's all you really need though to understand how to play Sorc. Just like I was talking about earlier, there's a pattern you can go through with classes. With Sorc, it is extremely easy. You levitate, you freeze, you elemental bolt, and then firewall or whatever other damage you can. You save your lightning spear and vortex for whenever classes are pushing you, so you can blast them away. You can either combine them or use them separately. They both work great. You're just going to see me rinse and repeat the process of levitate, freeze, elemental bolt. Couldn't even touch me. Very overpowered if you know what you're doing. And then lastly, we have a Warlock. Now, Warlock, this is the best way to build it. Kind of no matter what, you can mess around with your perks, your spells, what you want to do, but this is how you should play it. The only footage I got was when my controls were messed up. I had to completely reinstall the app on my computer that does my keybinds. And again, just like every other class on Warlock, we are focusing on strength, will, vigor, knowledge, dexterity, wherever it can fit, and then we're doing magical power instead of, you know, spellcasting speed or armor pen. Essentially, you want to get Curse of Weakness off, Curse of Pain, and then you just go in for melee with Buck, and you will beat most melee classes. This fighter is just really good at shit on me the whole time, but I figured I'd try. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. Sorry again if this was a little bit rough. I did the best I can with the circumstances I had with the gear changes and all of that stuff. Let me know what else you guys would like me to go over for Dark and Darker for Timmies. Make sure to like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed. I will be streaming as much as possible this next season. I'll probably be streaming for the first week every single day. Thanks for watching again, and I hope you guys have a great day.